Welcome to Jefe Talks. Before we begin, like and subscribe to YouTube channel. Content pretty much daily. Special guests. You all know, man. Ekpe, how you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Blessed. Can't complain, man.
You know, the NBA taking a complete change, like with
Ooh.
LA being out the playoffs. So how you feeling? You think the Suns gonna win it all? What you think?
The Suns have a really good chance, man. It seems like CP back healthy. He's closing for him again. Everybody they playing at a high level. Book, Aiton's had a really good playoff run. Jay, Cameron Payne has came strong for them. I mean, they putting something together.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think what the Nets two injuries, like Kyrie, depending on how bad his injury is, I really don't know who's gonna win this year. I got no clue, man.
I do not appreciate that what happened to Kyrie.
Yeah, man.
That was bad, man. Like Giannis had no business being there, and the refs just played on like nothing happened. They letting PJ Tucker play defense like nobody's business.
Yeah,
Him to be very physical, where in other series you can't get that physical, especially with a top five player.
you think so? You still think the Nets could win it? Or like you think they're gonna beat the Bucks? I mean, I think I'm gonna take the Bucks right now because I don't know. I mean, who else they got? Kyrie, Harden, and then what? Blake
I'm
Griffin.
a KD fan, so I'm still going to say KD is going to he's going to put on a performance similar to what not Kawhi, similar to what Damian did, but hopefully they get the win.
I don't know. They got the firepower. KD's gonna do his part, but like, who's next in line? Like, don't got Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris. I mean, he's only doing so much.
Been struggling. He can get going, but I think Mike James is going to have a big game.
The kid who's from the EuroLeague. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they did add him, right? That's facts.
Mike James, I think, is going to have a big game. He's just gonna go out and hoop.
Yeah,
that's when he's most dangerous.
Yeah,
anywhere, any league, anywhere in the world, you put him on that court, you say, "Yo, I'm gonna need you to get a bucket tonight." He's going to get a bucket. Yeah, it's wide open, fam. I don't know if you've seen it this wide open ever.
I know, this is crazy. Like, it's not like the past years where it's going to be Warriors, Cavs, or whatever team LeBron's on, but like now it's like, yo, I really don't know. I have no clue who's gonna win it. This is how I want it to be though. Like like the NFL, you don't know who's gonna win the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's gonna get there, but you don't know he's gonna win it.
Yeah, I would be. I'm pushing for CP. If he could win it, man, that would be great. 36 years old, playing at this level, it's special. I mean, last night, not one made three.
Yeah.
Mid-range is still alive, and it's always going to be alive no matter what.
Yeah, he's cooking, man. He's doing his thing. There's been a lot of albums that drop. We're gonna get to that. I'm not gonna forget this job. I'm not going. I did not want to forget this. So why it's still fresh? Because I was just listening to Culture 3, and I know you heard some. You heard some of it.
Yeah, I can't do that many tracks of the Migos.
Yeah, that's true. I just listened to the one with Drake.
Yeah, like I respect them. They're doing amazing things. I can't do 19 tracks. The Avalanche and that song with Drake. Yeah, let them go. I'm still trying to get into the Polo G. But the off season is still right there.
Yeah, but it's gonna stay on the charts the rest of the year at least until Drizzy drop, because he said he about to drop before the summer ends.
I hope so. But listen, I still like 21 Savage. He really came on that track and slid on a whole joint.
He did.
I was in. That's the one song I try to listen to every time I get a chance.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, 21 go crazy, man. Like I love seeing like how he's developed as an artist. Like, he's changed so much. He's more like conscious of or conscious of what he does, like with his music and everything. So, like, since the A Lot record, he's just went like off.
He knows, like, you get on the track with Cole, you gotta come with A1.
I know, you gotta come with something, or else like you gotta come with something.
Lil Durk Baby album.
I didn't really hit it. It's solid, but I expected more, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did too. I'm ready for just a Baby solo.
Yeah,
So
honestly, I think Lil Durk, he kind of like, I don't know, he got to change up something. You know, but yeah, Lil Baby, he need to drop a solo project for sure. Polo G, I haven't got around to his album. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna have the #1 selling album though. The way he's looking. Yeah, he sold like nearly 200K. Yeah, I know it's crazy. As the Migos about to sell like 130 or something, and then Polo G's at 200. But he got the Nicki Minaj feature.
Yeah, he got the. I seen she was pumping, but shout out Polo G. That's big.
Yeah, he had a #1 song this year, the Rap Star. So
I'm sorry,
yeah, it went #1. So it makes sense why he was sold that much.
You say Drake about to drop?
Yeah, Certified Lover Boy. I'm waiting. I mean, he's moving a little too calm, so I know he's sitting on something.
He has to. I really do think he went back, got back in the studio, and made some new songs. And he about to drop something. He gonna drop something.
Man, I can't wait.
But you know who I'm.
Hey, I think Kendrick. I think he might drop too. I don't know.
I think the time. Well, probably he'll drop after Drake. I'm thinking fourth quarter.
Yeah, I can see that happening. We need it this year though. If he drop, we definitely need him to drop this year. What age exactly did you begin hooping?
Man, I started hooping at 5 years old at the playground, Meadow Lakes. You know, the little concrete playground, steel rims, steel nets, you know. That's where it all began for me. I was it was me and one of my good friends growing up, and then we would always be going against older guys.
Mm-hmm.
We were the youngest of the crew. So we would, by playing up, we would always be ready when it was time to play our age group, you know, and I think every kid should strive to play against older people, older competition, and then, you know, develop from there. You know, make it a lot easier when it's their time to play against their age group.
You did a lot. You did more than like a lot of people could say, you know, and like everybody can't say they're a freaking lottery pick.
Right. No,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
My career has been an interesting one. I mean, I can't wait to document it. But going from being a high school kid, not really a high recruited guy, and not even playing. And I finished my high school AAU season playing for a team out of Texas. Mm-hmm. Didn't even feel that love out of Oklahoma from the AAU scene. So I went to a different team, was able to do that. Able to go to a D1 school, University of Michigan. Yeah. Get away from Oklahoma just because of the speed, pace, something different. And then from BAM, transferred to Baylor University. Shout out Baylor University, national champions.
Facts. I saw that pick too.
Y'all didn't know. And then had to sit out, came on the scene that following year. Mm-hmm. You know, went up, had a really good season, individually and as a team. Mm-hmm. And you know, ever since then, Baylor has taken off. I get drafted 6th, family, everybody was able to come to the Garden. So that was an amazing trip, amazing experience. Go to the Warriors 6th pick, there for a year and a half. You know, get to enjoy myself. Unfortunately, I had an injury that I had to have surgery on, so I missed like the first 6 months of my rookie season due to the injury. And then the following season was a lockout season.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah. Until like December-ish. And I went to Israel for like a week to play. I only played in one game before the lockout, you know, it was canceled and we had to report back. Then I get traded. That kind of shook me up, you know, basketball. Just because at the time I was playing the best basketball of my career. I get through with my shooting. I'm feeling good. We done beat the Clippers. We like 2 games under 500, so we making some noise. I get done shooting, you know, slap hands with the coach that was working with me. And I see all these people around the court. I'm just like, man, it must be going down. I wonder who's about to get traded. Walking to the joint, Coach Jackson pulled me to the side like, yeah, you know, unfortunately, you've been traded. And that really hit me. Like,
you said your heart dropped, and you're like,
heart dropped, man. And I'm just sitting in the locker room, like, man, like, just when I'm hooping, I'm about to get traded, and I get traded to Milwaukee. Bro, I almost shed a couple of tears. I was just all over the place, mentally.
What happens when you get traded? Like, what do you so
Bruh,
do you move your stuff out the locker room as soon as you get the news, and like what happens?
I if it wasn't for Coach Jackson telling me, I wouldn't have known, and I would have seen it on the TV in the locker room.
Yeah.
But I walk in the locker room, Monte there. He's like, "Well, we've been traded up." I said, "Man, it's about a before we talk about it. Then after that, we were in Sacramento, so my best friend, he was out there. He came and picked me up, drove back home, and I just sat on the couch, man, and just trying to figure out what just happened. Then I go to Milwaukee, finish that season, make the playoffs. That was cool. It was just different, going from the Bay to Milwaukee, having to learn a new system after like I said, I was playing really good basketball. So, continue to play, and I don't know what happens that next year. Next year we were bad. Or we made the playoffs that following year too. That's when Brandon Jennings was like, "We're gonna beat the Heat in 6." Then we get swept by the Heat. I think that was that year. Then the following year we were bad. Going to free agency. Then I signed a minimum with the Clippers. And living in LA was something different.
Definitely it's LA.
Yeah, definitely Hollywood. And then you had like CP Blake, DeAndre at their height, Jamal Crawford, talented team, JJ Redick, Matt Barnes, very talented team. Hugh Turkle, which plays into the next phase of my career. But that you really got to see the lights, the stars, the bright lights, and seeing how different players dealt with it. It was interesting. With all that talent, you would have thought we would have a chance to maybe make a run towards the championship, but just couldn't get over that hump. I really ain't play, so it was nothing for me in the States regarding free agency. And then there was a team in Turkey called Fenerbahce who reached out to me, and I had to do a workout for them in Vegas. But why I bring up, Turkoglu, because Turkoglu knew the president of that team, of that club. I mean, Turk would talk about who he was in Turkey, and I'd just be like, "Yeah, okay." And just keep it moving. And then, after the season, it's like, dang, Fenerbahce calls and Turk's like, yeah. It's gonna work out for you. Like, yeah, okay. And then I do good in the workout, then I go. But when I signed, people were like, "Do you know who Obradovic is? Who was the coach there?" I was like, "No, who is it?" And I find out he's different.
Yeah.
He one of the greatest coaches to ever coach a sport. He's highly decorated with awards and trophies, but he is intense, and he owns you from start to finish. So I get to Istanbul. I'm a little nervous because during this time we just in the world it just seemed like everybody was trying to bash the Islamic faith and the Muslims. So I was a little shook going. I get there, it's like, man, this is just like the States.
Yeah.
Like, what I mean?
You can't listen to the media.
Can't listen to it. And we've just been a part of this American bubble for our whole life. We think we just run with whatever they say, but that's not the case. But one thing I did have to get comfortable with was the prayers. They pray 5 times a day, and sirens go off when it's time to pray. That shook me the first morning.
Hey, Nigeria, they got something like that, like 5, the area my dad lived in, like at 5 a.m. you hear this bell, and I thought it was like gunshots or something.
I said,
I'm jumping up.
This can't be it.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like, what is that? What is that? Like, and then you hear this loud thing singing with a bell. I'm not used to that. So, but you gotta learn, like, when you go to different countries, everything different. Like,
They have their own customs. They have their own, you know, do's and don'ts.
Yeah, facts. Everything's different. France, everything, you know.
Everywhere you go outside of America, America is, yeah, yes, we'll leave it at that. Because of that, I didn't really do much. I would be like home, practice, home, maybe walk across the street to get something to eat. But that was it for like the first 6 months. And then one of my friends, you know, came out there and stayed with me for like maybe 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to move around just a little bit because I had somebody, you know, I could be like, yo, you know, roll with me or whatever for the season. And we had won the Turkish Cup tournament in the middle of the season. We won the Turkish League. We went to the finals, but then lost in the finals in the OT. So that first year I had won three chips already. In that second year, this is when I really got to see Obradovic. Second year we come back, we won the favorite. So you know how that is. You come in the favorites, you're gonna have your lows. And then we had injuries. The thing about Europe, every game means something, even if somebody's injured. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You're expected to win.
Exactly.
So with who we were, how we played, we had new sponsorships. Hell, we even had a sponsorship by airplane company. So we was flying on our own plane. We were feeling ourselves. Then we started having injuries. Then we started losing. I kid you not. December 31st, 1st, and the 2nd, 3 days, we probably ran 180 line touches or 168 line touches.
Why?
Because we were losing.
Your coach made you do that?
Oh my God. You know, and he's very anal. I mean, part of the reason why he's so good is like everything, the devil's in the details. If you're not playing, like you could be a young boy, but you don't cut right, he's liable to lose it on you. It don't matter. And don't matter who you are up top either, because that's just how he coached. And we had lost a couple of games, and he was holding some stuff in, and we just ran. Bro, he said one time run 50.
Oh, hell no. Nah.
Bro, I mean, so it's at your own pace. I'm moving slow because I'm like, listen, the way my knees work, this ain't it.
Yeah.
So we almost like around 30, right? And he just walking with his whistle. So how many of y'all left? He said 32. We all started to slow down. He said, okay, just check and keep running.
Y'all should have lied.
Come on, man. We lost in the Turkish Cup, the tournament in the middle of the season. But then after that, we got healthy. Then we got to the EuroLeague playoff. We swept a team people thought was going to beat us. Then we get to the Final Four, which was held in Istanbul. And that Final Four is an experience. If you can make it to one, do it.
Whoever. Is it out there?
It's something. It's crazy, crazier than March Madness, crazier than anything you've seen. And it was in Istanbul, so our crowds were on 10. And this was the first time, that was the first time anybody in Turkey had won a EuroLeague championship. So
that's crazy.
Imagine how lit it was. I'm talking about after the semifinal game, I'm in my bed and like my head is ringing with the chants. And it like took me a while to go to sleep.
Oh, nah, that's different. How many fans were in it? How many fans are in there?
Oh man, so that arena probably fit 20 plus, 20,000 plus, and it was majority Finner fans. And it, bruh, like after we won that championship, flares were up, people were crying. It was surreal, bro. And I was the MVP of the Final Four as well. So at that point, I had done everything. I had won everything in Europe.
Yeah, you go straight. Dang, that's so tough. Oh, that's tough.
And for me, that following summer, I was like, that's when I went to the Jazz. And for me, I was like, for me to come back to Europe, I would like to be the highest paid player. Maybe outside of like Alexei Shved, because he's Russian, he plays Russian team, so it's gonna be different with him. But I need to be him. Things didn't go how I thought it would. But then you have the opportunity to go back to the NBA. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I've done it all here. So I went back to Utah. and played there 2 years. Book club was booming, and then I went to China. China was another different experience, just because China is a different monster due to the whole, the communism. So society runs a little bit different. You know, it was a good experience. It really was. It really was. So I've been there for like a year and a half, but now I would like to just finish off my career in Europe for the next probably 2 to 3 years.
You're playing in the FIBA with Team Nigeria. Are you going to training camp next week?
Oh yes, we start training camp next week in the Bay.
My brother is going to be there. He got invited, so he should be there. He's on. I don't know y'all playing with each other, but I think he's trying out next week.
Yeah, that's good, man. What? Tell him to stay out the paint. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be interesting to see how many guys come out, especially NBA guys, and see how Coach Brown tries to juggle this roster. It'll be intense.
With that, the work you put in from basically going from, I don't know, like what you were coming off the bench from there. I know you came off the bench, right, Michigan that second year.
Yes, I did.
From coming off the bench to like transforming yourself into a lottery pick, what's like the work you put in that like pushed you to that realm right there?
Some of the words that Coach Beeline has said was the driving force. And I knew I wasn't going to go to like mid-major. I had to stay high major because like it wasn't that I couldn't play at this level. So I got the opportunity at Baylor, and that I what he said I'll never forget, and that caused a lot of friction with relationships. But that year off at Baylor, y'all really put in some good work. Coach Driscoll was the main coach that I worked with, and then Coach Tang as well, who was still there. Man, it was just a lot of work, man. But you know what's important? Like when you're not like the number one, clear-cut number one and number two pick, or three, you gotta win. You gotta win games, so you can get on the highest, on the biggest stage. If we wouldn't have won games and didn't make a tournament run, I don't think I would have been picked there, even with the same stats. You know what I mean? So by us winning and going to we went to a Old Spice Classic in Orlando, I believe. I had good showings there. Then Big 12 comes, you play everybody, and then the tournament, March Madness came, and that's when I already had a name, but I did it on the biggest stage and gave myself that chance.
What are your thoughts on the portal right now? Like the rules that pass, allowing kids.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, kids don't have to sit out.
I like it, but man, there's so many kids in the transfer portal. It's tough for a high school kid.
It's crazy, man.
You know what I mean? Every like JUCO, D2, D3, you can transfer up, not have to sit out a year. So it's tough. It's going to be tough for these high school kids. Do I like it? I don't know if I like it. I don't think kids should be punished and have to sit out a year. But man, I would have never thought it would be this many kids in
the portal. I mean, I'm not surprised. They should have made some type of standard because I like it at the same time because these coaches, I mean, as soon as they get more money somewhere else, they're gone.
Right. Yeah. Like those kids, I'm like, yeah, I need you to leave immediately. But the kids is just leaving and just, man, that's tough.
Man, kids who average like 15 plus at their school are transferring.
Right.
I was like, yo, what are you leaving for?
Not being real with each other about where kids are with their game, where they could be, their potential. It's a lot of fake noise. And then the kid thinks, man, if I transfer here, I'm gonna be able to get off more. Like you said, sir, just average 15. What more are you gonna do? And if you ain't been noticed now, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do
at a different school? It's not gonna.
It's like
it's over.
It's tough out here right now for the youth and these college kids, man, just thinking that it is easy.
And I had a kid matter of fact, 2 days ago, this place I went to go film. He was saying like, yeah, he's about to get like a D1 offer. He's gonna average 20 plus his first year. I'm like, dog, do you not understand? I was like, what? You're not averaging 20 as a freshman.
Come on, man.
Like you feel me? Like you're not averaging 20 as a freshman. I was like, the best player on the schools that are recruiting you don't even average 20. So like, what makes you think you're about to average 20?
Right.
College, I was like, it's kind of harder to be honest to average 20 in college than the NBA, if I'm being honest, because it's like a system. You know, it's not superstar based. It's like you got to listen to the coach or you don't play. Like you got to play exactly how this guy wants you to play.
Right. So, and you know, you can play zone, you can pack the paint. When people say they were average like that, I was like, I don't even know. Steph and Jimmer, they were in the 20s, but they are some great shooters.
They barely average 20.
Yeah, like they had the green. Why do you think? And you know what's another thing that's bothering me? These high school kids are switching schools
and announcing it like they
are switching high school. Hey, U10. I'm like, this is setting them up for failure.
I can't lie though. I mean, there's one thing I do like. I think in the coming years, like these coaches are going to be held accountable for sure. Because I mean, these kids are switching at a high rate, but like some of the stuff these coaches be doing is foul shit. Like
they be on BS 100%.
You know, it's foul. You know, it's not always the kid. Like I know, like on Twitter, I always see like adults saying like kids are soft and stuff like that, but they never look at what the coach does despite the coach's history.
Exactly.
Like
they don't be honest about what these coaches have done in their past.
They don't. I was like, yo, the proof. Like, look what this guy's done. You talking about it's the kid. Like some of these guys, some of these people. All right, some of these kids shouldn't be transferring, but like some of these coaches are really full of shit. Like I don't think they really be doing some foul stuff to some of these kids. You know, so
be that guy, but some of these folks, man, they get away with murder, man.
Take me through a day in the life, like in the NBA, like a game day. Like I didn't ask you this. Like, what is
game days?
Your first year when you were on the Warriors. You were on the Warriors. So like, what was like a day in the life, like from you waking up to like it's game day, boom.
You know, so for me, after the 6 months, I was just antsy. So you know, you wake up. You go have shoot around, you have breakfast at the gym if you want to. I usually have breakfast at the gym on the court, like 45 minutes before practice or in the weight room, either or. Then you'll go through shoot around. After that, shower, eat lunch, go home. Back then, I wasn't reading much, so I would just go home, you know, put the TV on, or I might get on the computer for a little bit. 1:30 come, I'm taking an hour and a half, almost a 2-hour nap. Wake up, get a pregame meal.
Yeah.
And from there, I get to the gym like 3 hours before game time to go through my shooting. And I would lift probably 90 on the clock. And then depending on what I had to do, sometimes I would go to like the chapel service. And then it would be game time. After the game, get something to eat. And that was it. Go home, go to sleep every day. Unless you like the stars, you be having a lot of time to do stuff. You know what I mean? Whether it's game day or it's not. You know, you'll have to get. Sometimes you have games on that are on the national televised games on in the background, just watching, seeing what's going on. But for sure, like practice days, you could be in the locker room after practice, after, you know, drinking your shake. You can be in there for another hour just talking about anything, just off the wall stuff.
Do NBA players, they use their cell phones at halftime? Is that true?
I don't think, I don't think they do use it. I think some guys will have it, you know, because people have families, you know, so you gotta have your phone so you can check, make sure everything's good. But I don't think people are like on their phone. Like halftime, you come in, turn around, you just on their phone. You know, halftime comes, especially depending on how you playing, guys are gonna have something to say. So you ain't gonna have time to just be on your phone. Then coach comes in, he talks, and after that, you break it and you gotta get outside. I heard like Steph may look at Twitter or something like that. Well, I mean, if he can look at Twitter and then he can come out and hit 8 threes. What you gonna say to that?
He's like, let me see what y'all tweet about. Oh, that's okay. All right.
You see, like a lot of these kids now, they're like, "Will he do it?" Well, sir,
you're not him. You're not one of them. Becoming a pro, like you got to put the hours in.
Got to put the hours in, especially early, man. I would say put the hours in, play against older competition, play against grown men, and then afterward, ask them what I need to work on, things of that nature. Get your push-ups in, your wall sits. You don't want to be just lifting crazy hard weights as a younger, but you can do like the natural stuff, push-ups, dips, pull-ups, things like that, wall sits, jump open. I always stress like you got to be in the best shape possible, especially for like guard. I'm like, okay, if you're a scoring guard, you need to be able to score, but then you need to be able to score and turn around and play defense. Especially you need to have that as a youngin or whatever your role may be. If you're a big, okay, can you block the shot and then run down the middle of the lane? Maybe you get you a steal. Okay, not offensive rebound. You got to be in shape to be able to do it. There's different levels of conditioning. It's like middle school to high school to college to whatever professional league you're gonna play in. Be a good person. Definitely be a good person. And listen. Be able to communicate. Be able to listen and translate it onto the court. That is huge. That is definitely huge. And don't become content. Set goals, continue to set goals. After you reach a goal, set another one, and keep pushing.
I think people, you see this advice you give, the biggest thing people are gonna miss out of it, the being a good person. Like they don't realize, like when you declare for the draft and you have interviews with these teams, they already know everything about you.
Get off of social media. How about that's another thing. You be on social media, but understand it's a tool, and you don't need to show everything you're into, especially as you get older. And if you are blessed and you take care of your business, you get to this level. There's folks out here trying to get you.
Facts.
It's going to just follow you straight off of that. People have died from that. And then you got to have a strong circle, very strong circle of friends, man, that can charge you up as well. And you appreciate that. You just be like, man, I don't need you around. I can go have a million yes men. That'll start to be your demise.
But what are like some goals you got set? I know you want to do, you said 2 to 3 more years.
2 to 3 more years, God willing.
Then what are you trying to get into from there?
Well, I need to win another EuroLeague championship. I don't know.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, man.
I'm gonna get it. After that, man, I'm already in some investments, but really I want to take like 6 months to a year and live abroad and like relax and be able to reflect, let my body relax from what's that? It's gonna be like 15 years of work, learn a new language, and then while I have sights on Spain, but while I'm in Spain, trying to go and watch like Barcelona and the way they practice, or Madrid and things of that nature. Gran Canaria. Just learn the game just in case I want to become a coach. But if not, just come back, man, and just be a tool for the youngins.
Why do you think most NBA guys go broke?
I mean, part of the reason is the lifestyle we live. So you go from a lot of the guys didn't come from money. So you come from no money, then you get this money, millions of dollars. And you got to go through the ups and downs of that, of learning how to take care of your money, how to grow your money, how to lose your money as well.
Yeah.
And then you just think, I'm gonna do this forever. Bam, just like this, God could God could say, no, I want you to do something else. Injured, bam, but you're still trying to live this lifestyle. We're trying to live the lifestyle even after we retire. And you can't do that if you don't have that type of money coming in. And then, being sure you find the right one. You find that right partner, that right woman that's gonna be there for you through the good and the less.
Man, this day and age, that is freaking hard, dog.
Divorce is tough. Divorces are tough. And then I think, we all gotta die at some point. I would encourage everybody to have an estate or a will. So when they die, it can flow smoothly, and everybody's not just fighting. You know, once you transition on.